Hi there, this is A Path to Peace and Marriage. I'm Pratima Scholl,
And I'm Jeff Scholl.
and we're talking about the 7 spiritual covenants. We're on number 4.
Right.
So, number 4, the first sentence is spiritual partners bond with the understanding that they are together because it's appropriate for their souls to grow together. And so, there is a sentence in spiritual relationships that says that spiritual partners help you evolve faster than you can alone. And I think that's very true. And sometimes spiritual relationships are done consciously, like ours is, but then also unconsciously, like with our 15-year-old daughter.
Right.
And so she certainly has pushed me to grow more than I ever expected or wanted to. Because it's very challenging. She's a very challenging personality, and it helps me to think about the idea that she's in my life for a purpose. There is a reason. There are no accidents. This relationship benefits my spiritual growth as well as hers. And so that thought kind of helps me be better.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and then the second part of this is each partner deserves to be empowered by a relation. I'm sorry, wrong sentence. They pledge to handle all decisions from the perspective defined as what benefits the relationship most benefits me the most.
Yeah, and when I hear that, what resonates for me is a concept I learned from Wayne Dyer, where he says, are you looking, is the question that you ask in your life, is it what can I get? Or is it how can I serve? And I know when I was stuck and living in my core fear identities primarily, and I heard that, especially as it applied to my relationships, I was thinking about, what do you mean, how can I serve? That's the problem that I have in my relationship today is I have been giving, and I'm not getting back. And if they would just give back, then I would feel better. And I understand that mindset and I understand that thought, but it's when you have a core fear identity of I don't deserve to receive, then you don't receive, and that creates this, catch-22 pattern of you giving and you can't receive. And some of it is, one of the ways that I can tell that. Well, I know that I've been receiving a lot more lately, and I'm getting it at home and I'm getting it at work, and it's because I've opened my heart. Because I was carrying a lot of fear and a lot of hurt from the past, and I worked on healing that, and I worked on opening my heart and feeling love, and not just feeling love for others, feeling love for myself. Because if I wasn't giving love to myself and wasn't allowing myself to feel love, whether it's not just self-love, love from God. If I'm not allowing myself to receive love from God, how can I possibly give it to someone else? And what it does is it kind of goes back to what we were talking about in our last series, the 5 love languages. If you give and you give and you give, and you don't receive, your love tank goes dry. I mean, that's what the author of that book talked about. He kept talking about an empty love tank, and it wasn't that what I realized once I started loving myself and opening my heart is that people had been trying to give love to me.
Yeah.
Right? And because I was incapable of receiving, I wouldn't allow anybody to help me. I wasn't open to the ways in which they were giving to me. And so, if you're one of those people that have been giving to someone else and they're not able to receive, at some point you just stop giving because that person can't receive. And that's not on you. And if you're the person that can't receive, I'm telling you a hard truth here. You're the one that has to change. You're the one that has to heal that hurt. And I know that I've talked about this in one of our prior videos, but I'm going to record a guided forgiveness exercise for you to pick someone and how to heal those aspects of yourself that have been holding on to these tremendous amounts of pain because it's that pain that blocks your heart, that keeps you from being able to receive. I was able to kind of do this on my own because I've been teaching it for so long that I know how to do it. But I had to have somebody point out to me that, hey, this is not her, this is you, and they were right. So I had to open my heart.
And I did record a self-love meditation along with the 5 love languages.
Right.
And I probably would like, I think I'd like to revisit that and re-record that and add a little bit more verbiage on that, because that was the lesson I learned when I went to my advanced retreat, is that I had a lot of emptiness in my heart that I needed to fill for me.
Right.
And nothing you could do or she could do was going to help me feel loved,
Right.
honestly.
So I want to talk just really briefly, and I know we're like at 5 minutes or something already, but I want to talk about the concept of mirroring, and I want to read you 6 spiritual principles about mirroring. Number 1, everything in my life is my co-creation. That's something that if you're going to grow spiritually, you have to take responsibility that everything in your life, you're co-creating this with God. Number 2, nothing I attract in my life is by accident. Everything that shows up in your life is there to give you the opportunity to heal, no matter how traumatic it may seem. And I will tell you that my spiritual journey started with dire issues with my health, and I talk about it in my book of how that started. Nothing in my life is unrelated to me. Everything I say, do, and feel has an impact on me. I think I hear Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about that it's like your cells are listening to your words, and I notice that the more that I speak lovingly and confident about my body, that I find myself being motivated to exercise more, and I'm finding myself eating better, and I feel better than I have in a long time. If I feel bad about something, it is mirroring back to me some aspect of myself that needs to be healed. And number 6, life is simply a mirror reflection of my human identities or roles.
All right.
Okay. Keep watching and listening. Thank you so much.
Subscribe, comment.